She sat in the hospital waiting room, trembling, clutching her swollen belly as if it were her last shield. The fluorescent lights above flickered, reflecting the storm inside her heart. Her name was Aisha, 8 months pregnant, exhausted, and alone. Her husband hadn't visited in days. He had stopped answering her calls, stopped sending messages. But what she didn't know, what no one in that ward knew, was that her life was about to collide with a truth so explosive that it would change everything. Because the woman walking toward her that evening, wearing expensive heels and holding a designer purse, wasn't just her husband's mistress. She was also the daughter of the hospital's most powerful man, her father. It all began with a silence that stretched too long between Aisha and her husband, Rehan. Their love story had started like a dream. Two people from different worlds brought together by kindness. She was a simple teacher from a modest family. He was a successful businessman whose charm could melt any heart. When they married, everyone said she was lucky, but luck fades when lies start to grow. Rehan's late nights became routine. His excuses turned shallow. Aisha's questions were met with irritation until one night she overheard him whispering on the phone, "I'll be there after she sleeps." Her heart broke that moment. She didn't confront him. She simply sat by the window, staring at the city lights, feeling the life inside her move. Her child was the only warmth she had left. Days turned into weeks, and the loneliness started to hurt more than the betrayal. When Aisha began to feel sharp pains one morning, she rushed herself to the hospital alone. The nurses were kind. The air smelled of disinfectant and fear. She was admitted for early contractions, but fate had other plans, because that same day, another woman entered the hospital. Zara. Beautiful, confident, wearing a smirk that could slice through glass. She was Rehan's mistress, furious after hearing he was with his wife again. She stormed into the hospital, demanding to see Aisha, claiming she wanted to clear things up. But what started as jealousy turned violent. Zara found Aisha in the corridor outside her ward, her face pale, her hands resting on her belly. "You're the reason he's miserable," Zara hissed, her voice sharp. Aisha looked up, confused and scared. "Please, not here. I'm not well." But Zara didn't stop. She grabbed Aisha's wrist, yanking her off balance. The nurses shouted, running toward them. Aisha cried out as pain shot through her abdomen. In the chaos, Zara's hand struck her face, and Aisha fell to the floor, clutching her stomach. The alarms blared, people ran, and Zara froze, realizing what she had done. The doctors rushed Aisha into emergency care, her cries echoing through the sterile halls. Zara was left standing there, trembling, her anger turning into fear. Security took her away, but not before she whispered to herself, "What have I done?" Hours passed. The baby's heartbeat steadied again. Aisha survived, barely, but the emotional wound was far deeper. She lay in her bed, tears rolling down her cheeks, thinking of how the man she loved had led her to this humiliation. And then the door opened. An older man, dressed in a sharp suit, stepped in with calm authority. The hospital staff moved aside respectfully. He looked at Aisha, then at the file in his hand. His eyes softened. "You're Aisha Rehan?" he asked gently. She nodded weakly. "Who are you?" He sighed. "Someone who has a lot to answer for." He sat beside her bed. "My name is Salman Malik, and the woman who hurt you, Zara, she's my daughter." Aisha turned away, too weak to speak. But the man continued, his voice trembling now. "I didn't know my daughter could do this. I also didn't know you existed until today. But when I saw your name, I realized something else. You're not just a victim, Aisha. You're my daughter, too." Her heart stopped. The room seemed to freeze. "What?" she whispered. Tears filled his eyes. "I made mistakes years ago. I had an affair with your mother when I was already married. She left the city before you were born. I searched for her, but I never found her again. When I saw your file, your date of birth, your mother's name," he paused, choking on the words, "You're my blood, Aisha." The shock hit her harder than any pain. The man whose daughter had attacked her was her father. For the first time in years, silence filled the room, not with emptiness, but with realization. Fate had spun a cruel circle. Two daughters from the same man, fighting in blindness, not knowing they shared the same blood. When Zara regained consciousness later that night, she was told her father wanted to see her. She walked into his office, pale and scared, and froze when she saw Aisha sitting there beside him. "Dad, what is she doing here?" Her father's voice thundered. "She's your sister." Zara's lips parted, disbelief flooding her eyes. "What?" He slammed his hand on the desk. "You attacked your own sister and her unborn child. The same blood that runs in your veins runs in hers. Zara collapsed into the chair, her breath shaking. The room went silent except for her soft sobs. I didn't know. I didn't know. Aisha looked at her, her heart breaking again. Not from anger this time, but from understanding. She took a deep breath and whispered, You didn't know, but now you do. Don't let hate destroy another life. That moment changed them both. Aisha forgave Zara, not because she deserved it, but because her baby deserved a world without bitterness. Rayhan faced his own reckoning. When Salman Malik learned what his deceit had caused, he made sure Rayhan lost everything but his shame. Months later, Aisha gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Zara was there, holding her hand through labor. The sisters, once enemies, were bound forever by truth and forgiveness. And when the old man looked at the child, his granddaughter, he whispered, Maybe God gave me a second chance through you. The story of betrayal, pain, and forgiveness found its peace in that hospital, the same place it began. And Aisha, once broken, walked out stronger, holding her baby close, knowing that sometimes the most painful truths lead to the most powerful rebirths. Because family isn't just who stands by you in happiness, it's who chooses love even after the storm.